what we are about to do is we're about to start some of the grid spaces with a lot of information in it. So I have my eyeball right here, and that is in 4D. Now, whenever I have a square with a lot of information in it that is crucial to how my face looks, I like to break it down into smaller squares. So I don't know if you guys can see that on my document camera. What I've already done is I've already broken this square down in half and in half again. So that is 4D. Now what I need to do down here, I already have my hair, I already have the basic outline of where my bangs are. I need to go into 4D and break that down into smaller squares. So I'm drawing a line in half and in half again. Now, whenever you draw your eye, if you are used to doing your makeup, this is maybe a little bit easier of a concept for you. You have multiple parts of your eye and you have to draw all of them. So when I get started, I'm going to get started with just the shape of my iris and my cornea here. That's going to look really small when I get started, because on the outside I have a water line here, which is on the inside of my eye. I have a water line here on the inside of my eye. I have eyeliner right here, which everybody has, not eyeliner, everyone has a lash line there. When you draw eyelashes, what you should not do is draw like sticks coming out from your eye. You only want to draw the lashes that you see. Okay. Also, I have an eyelid up here. I have some wrinkles down here. The more details that you add within these big squares with a lot of information, the more this is going to look like you. So I have my paper. Let me make sure my document camera, you guys can see that. You can't really. There. So you guys can see now I have my square broken down into 4 smaller squares. Now when I get here, I'm going to start, just like I said, this part crosses this 3D line right here. So I'm going to find 3D and I'm going to start with the shape that crosses that line. It's not very much. This part comes almost up to here, comes back around and ends about right here-ish. The bottom part of my eye comes in like that. Now, like I said before, I highly recommend drawing as light as possible, because I am already going to be doing some erasing right here. And you guys will likely have the same. I'm going to get the shape of my iris. And I'm going to get the shape of my pupil. Now, if I left it like this, it would look crazy. It looks too small. There's not all the parts of my eye. So I'm going to start to come in and fill in all of the other parts of my eye. I have my water line that we discussed. I have the inside corner of my eye right here. I have my eyeliner up top around my lash line, which you guys have a lash line. You may not have a thick eyeliner, but you do have a lash line. The outside corner of my eye, if you can see it, is actually like a space right here. So I'm going to make sure that space exists. I have some wrinkles down in here. I have a few visible eyelashes, not a lot. And then I have my upper lid. So that is my first eye that is done. My next eye is over here in D2. So I'm going to do the exact same thing when I break that down into smaller squares. I'm going to look at my nose. If you think you're going to have any problems drawing your nose, I recommend looking up here. Now, whenever I draw my nose, I tend to draw my nose smaller than it is in real life. I have a large nose with large covering on my face. So when I look at this, I am in on the line between E and F. My nose almost touches the sideline of my face. So I already have that right here. I'm in between E and F. I know my nose almost touches right here. If I were just drawing my nose freehand, I probably would have put it somewhere right here in the middle. It doesn't go there. Now if I'm looking at the other side of my nose, the side of my nostril, I am not going to draw a line on this side because one doesn't exist. That's just value right there. I'm going to get the line over here and I'm going to get the line down here. The line around my nostril stops right here. It does not curve all the way around my nose. I'm only drawing what I can see. So this side right here, the side of this nostril, comes almost over halfway here. So now I have a rough space where I'm going to put my nose, and I'm not sure you guys can't see that at all on my document camera. That is way bigger than I would have drawn it by itself. Entirely too big. So I am going to continue with this drawing. I'm going to make sure the curve of my nose comes down and back up. Now if you find that you are having a hard time drawing your nose, a hard time finding where your nostrils go, any of that, you can take your squares and break them up smaller so that you know exactly where these lines go. And then I'm going to come up here and get the curve, the bridge of my nose. I can look at my paper. I know that it comes really close to D2, this line right here. And then I'm going to get the curve of the bridge. It comes up here right next to my eye and wraps around to my brow. So now I've got my nose. I'm going to fix the curve of it a little bit and I can continue doing work on my eye. Alright y'all, so my last tip or trick for the day that you guys will need to know about is how to get your mouth. Now we have already practiced drawing a mouth with teeth showing. When you get started drawing your mouth within your grid, what I recommend you do is get that center line of your lips first before you fill in where your upper and lower lip go. Now remember, if you do a hard outline on your lips, no matter who you are as a person, it's going to look like you're wearing lipstick. So you can't really see my lips all that much, but what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna get started the same way. I'm gonna get started with that center line of my mouth, which starts in F3 for me. So I'm in F3 here. I'm looking at where it crosses the line. It's just a little bit over the edge right here, comes down right here, and ends right there. So now I need to focus on the curve of that. So I'm going to get the curve going down. It's pretty straight across, but there are some little curves in there that I want to be aware of. And I'm curving down at the corner of my mouth. Now I look kind of like a Muppet without lips. So you have to add those in. So I'm going to go in and add my upper lip first, without adding a hard outline. So I'm going to get the peak right here, and then where I cannot see a line, I'm not going to add it. And then I'm going to get my bottom lip here. Again, where you do not see a line, you shouldn't add one.